Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Largo, and today we're going to check out Miss Marvel for Disney Plus, a new TV show they're coming out with based on the Miss Marvel character. Miss Marvel's pretty interesting. She's pretty new in the grand scheme of characters from Marvel, uh, but I'm curious to see what they're going to do with her. So let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. Daydreaming.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala.
Another adventure shirt. Cute.
She thinks I'm some kind of weirdo.
You were a weirdo.
Boys.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're kind of on my shirt.
Sorry.
But you're staring out the window in your little fantasy land. Kamala, hey! Already? Really? Come on, like...
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or is there like... Maybe they're right. I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
That is not you.
It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. That's a fantasy too.
Did something happen to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Kamala?
What?
What does it feel like?
Cosmic.
What?
I always thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined any of this.
Do you know what you are?
I'm a superhero.
I like it. I like it. I like it. The one of the things I've always liked about Miss Marvel as a character is she seems like she is a little bit more realistic in how she reacts to the things around her. I I live in a world where superheroes are completely fictional, and I'm still obsessed with them. If I lived in a world where superheroes were real and they were literally flying through the sky outside my window, I would be absolutely obsessed with them. So I understand where a character like Miss Marvel, how she has that in her head where she just, she daydreams about being a superhero and she wants to be one and she thinks about what she would do if she had those abilities. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I fantasize all the time about, hey, if I had a power, what would I do with it? How could I use it? All these different things. So I find her to be a pretty easy character to identify with, which is interesting, seeing how she's a Middle Eastern teenage female who's Muslim, and I'm none of those things, and yet I still feel like I can identify with her personality. And she's doing a lot of heavy lifting in regards to representation for different people, for women, for Middle Eastern people, for Arabs, and for just straight up comic nerds like myself, man. Very cool, very interesting. Now, one thing I did notice in this trailer is I think they've given her some abilities that she doesn't normally have. Now, her primary ability, to my knowledge, is the fact that she can manipulate the size and shape of her body. She calls it embiggening. So she can embiggen herself. Probably the most prevalent example of how she does that is she likes to take her fists and make it massive. So she can ball up her fists and expand it to the size of a car and then punch you with it. And then she does all kinds of stuff. She'll make herself 30 feet tall and, just kind of stride over people. But in the trailer, we see um, some interesting things that she's doing here, and one of them is here
What does it feel like?
where we see her creating energy constructs essentially that she's able to walk on. And in a later scene, we see her using that same ability to block projectiles. See, to block projectiles, we see some guys over here with guns, a little muzzle flash, and she's creating an energy barrier of some kind. To my knowledge, she's not capable of doing this normally in the comics. But this is MCU related. They're probably going to be taking some liberties into the character's origins, most likely. We do see a scene earlier where she puts what looks like some kind of bracelet on her, and it seems to activate. So that's probably how she's going to get her movies, or probably how she's going to get her powers in this movie. She is in the comics what is called an Inhuman, and an Inhuman has special biological genetic markers in them that are dormant. They have to be activated with something called the Terrigen Mist. In the comics, she was exposed to the Terrigen Mist and her powers were activated. In the movie, it looks like her powers are probably going to get activated or maybe even given to her entirely by some kind of artifact that she finds and wears. We'll see. But overall, this preview was pretty good. I'm glad that they're making it a television show rather than just a movie. Because with a movie, they would give us her origin story and that would be it. And we would kind of say, okay, well, we may or may not get another sequel to this. But as a television series, they're going to be able to introduce the character and we're going to have a little bit more breathing room to kind of explore the character, explore the world she lives in, and kind of flesh things out a little bit more. And I like it. I really, really like it. So we'll go ahead and wrap the video up here for today, guys. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, but most importantly, comment down below. Let me know what you want me to react to next. And thanks for stopping by.